Yo, what's going on, guys? Mush back at it with another video, and man, we have some absolutely phenomenal news. Maybe I shouldn't be celebrating too much because really this probably should have never happened in the first place, but Microsoft has conceded and has accepted that their push on $80 games was just a little bit too much, and Outer Worlds 2 will not be an $80 game. It will in fact be $70. Let us go check Steam right now. Steam still has it listed at $80, but it will end up being $70. This is huge, not just for the context of Outer Worlds 2, because I honestly don't think Outer Worlds 2 is gonna do that well regardless, but it was noted by Microsoft on Windows Central, we're focused on bringing players incredible worlds to explore, and we'll keep our full-price holiday releases, including the Outer Worlds 2, at $70 in line with current market conditions. If you've already pre-ordered the Outer Worlds 2 at $79.99, you will have to grab refunds at the point of purchase, so you'll be able to get a refund on that. Look, there's been a lot of talk on the $80 games, and there's so many different angles that you could dissect this from, especially from the Microsoft vantage point. Look, I do think there is that element of Microsoft upping their games to $80 making sense in the sense that it almost artificially raises the value of Xbox Game Pass, and people would be on Steam, they would be on PlayStation Store, they would see that Outer Worlds 2, my god, this game is $80 to buy it, but I can sign up for Xbox Game Pass. From that angle, you sacrifice on the sales, because I don't think anybody in their right mind, unless they're just completely nonsensical, which honestly, based on Microsoft's recent moves, there might be a lot of nonsense going on, but I just think anybody that has a functioning brain cell would realize that, bro, Outer Worlds 2 being $80, you ain't him, chief. You ain't that game for it to be $80. Look, I think people would spend $80 on, like, GTA 6, maybe some of these other games, maybe, like, Witcher 4, GTA 6, okay, we can talk about those games being $80, and I know that there would be a lot of pushback on that. It's not like Outer Worlds 1 was this incredible jaw-dropping game. It was a totally serviceable, fine RPG. That is it. That is all. Outer Worlds 2 at $80 was always gonna get obliterated. Hell, I would argue that Outer Worlds 2 at $70 isn't gonna be this game that people are gonna run out wanting to buy. But at the very least, $70 is in line with a lot of the other major game releases, and it could be one thing as far as that's concerned. Outer Worlds 2 being that game leading the charge for $80 games outside of Nintendo platforms was just straight up comical. It's like, bro, Ghost of Yote is coming out in early October. All these games are coming out in the fall that are $60, $70, but Outer Worlds 2 is gonna be $80? Get out of here. And people are, oh my god, Obsidian is bro, Obsidian has I like Obsidian. They've put out some good games, but people want to act like Obsidian is this amazing studio. Avowed was mid. Outer Worlds 1 was mid. Pentiment was kind of cool. They ain't this studio that it's just completely blow away. And I get that Obsidian didn't set the $80 price point. That is a Microsoft price point, but I do see this rhetoric being thrown around that Obsidian is, bro, they're consistent. They're consistent with putting out okay games. Like, that's what it ends with. You want to talk about, like, a consistently great studio? That would be From Software, and I know Elden Ring Night Rain didn't blow people away, but it's like, bro, Obsidian puts out Outer Worlds, Avowed, Grounded, and Pentiment. What a lineup, guys! What a lineup! And I don't mean to clown on Obsidian. Like, I love South Park: The Stick of Truth. I love Fallout New Vegas. I loved Pillars of Eternity. But recently, if we want to talk about the last 5 years or so, Obsidian is not this studio that their track record warrants their games to be $80. And again, this isn't the pile-on Obsidian type moment, but I'm just saying that they should have never been the studio to be like, yeah, they're them. They are them. As far as their games being $80. And again, that's a Microsoft's decision, and I understand from the vantage point of creating this value on Game Pass, but I'm also happy to see that they're going back on it, even though it should have never been the case in the first place, and even though I still think Outer Worlds 2 is not going to do very well. I think people will play it via Game Pass. I think if it goes on sale at some point, when it's sub $30, people will pick it up then. but I don't foresee it being this complete slam dunk home run of a game. I think it'll be a fine, totally serviceable RPG that some people will check out via Game Pass, and down the line, a lot of people will end up buying it on sale. But it is something to consider when you're talking about games going up in price, especially because I think a few years ago, there would have been this notion of, yo, you guys complain about games going up in price, but you're gonna buy them anyway. And yes, there is an audience that people buy the yearly sports games. I'm not gonna stop the people that are super into Madden from buying Madden, super into NBA from buying NBA. But that's a different audience than the people that are into a game like Outer Worlds 2. Outer Worlds 2 is gonna be a game that you want to promote to that general gaming audience that it's in tune. And that's the type of audience that's gonna be in line with wanting to play in Outer Worlds 2, that they're aware of all of the other games coming out. Outer Worlds 2 isn't the game that, my dad goes into the store that barely plays video games, but he sees, a new NBA game on sale or a new Madden game on sale, and he'll pick it up right away. Like, that's not the audience Outer Worlds 2 is gonna grab for. Outer Worlds 2 is gonna be that audience that they're into video games, they're aware of the games coming out, and guess what? If they're aware of the games coming out, they're aware of the competition, they're aware of the other games coming out, and then Outer Worlds 2 is going to be compared to an Expedition 33. It's going to be compared to this game on sale, that game on sale, or that game coming out at $70. Yote's coming out at $70. Death Stranding 2 is coming out at $70. That game's coming out at $70. But Outer Worlds 2 is the game that's at $80? No way do I think it would have done well at $80. And on top of that, it's just there are so many options now. People have these crazy backlogs. People have the opportunity to see a million games go on sale every week, and you're asking people to drop $80. It better be an experience that they're jumping out of their seat to play, that they have to play it ASAP. And yeah, when the sequel to Cyberpunk comes out, when Witcher 4 comes out, when I'm not even that crazy about GTA, but for most people, when GTA 6 comes out, when Final Fantasy 17 or the Final Fantasy 7 Remake Part 3 comes out, when if Red Dead 3 ever came out, like, those are some of the games that I would spend a higher price point on. But that's me personally. I would spend a premier price point on those games. The general audience might be adverse to spending even $80 on some of those titles as well, but I'll tell you this, most people would have been adverse to spending $80 on Outer Worlds 2. Yeah, maybe they would have played it on Xbox Game Pass, but ultimately, do you want to make money off the standalone sales as well, or do you just want to use it as an avenue to promote Game Pass? I don't know what Microsoft's plan is. These days, I feel like Microsoft doesn't know what Microsoft's plan is, but I do think this is a huge W, at least for the moment. Being $80 Steam games have been shot down, at least for the moment, being Outer Worlds 2 going down in price. That's gonna do it for me. Let me know all of your thoughts in the comment section down below. As always, thanks for watching. Interested to hear your guys' takes, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace out. Hey, what's going on, guys? Mush here again. Hope you enjoyed the video. As you guys might know, YouTube's notification system is sometimes a little bit wonky, even if you're subscribed to the channel. Maybe you're not abundantly aware that I uploaded a video. To remedy that situation, make sure you hit the bell notification button. This way, whenever I upload a new video, and I try to upload as consistently as possible, you will be notified directly of the upload, and you can watch it as soon as it goes live. I would really appreciate if you guys hit that button so you can stay up to date with all of the content I'm posting. But as always, guys, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out.